Spoiler alert.
So ano ba gusto niya ating pag-usapan?
Hello.
Bigla naman.
Nawala yun.
Ini-edit naman to, no?
ini-edit naman.
Yung mga last na.
Ay, tinatanggal ko. Parang awkward silences.
Okay.
Narinig niya. Narinig niya.
Alin yun?
Basta.
Third World Cinema Club.
Welcome guys to yet another episode of Third World Cinema Club. I'm John Tawasil from Present Confusion.
I'm Princess Kinok from Film Police Reviews.
I'm DJ Ramones from ReverseDelay.net.
And we have a special guest for today. Please, yay! Please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Oggs Cruz. I'm a lawyer. I write for Rappler and other publications.
Yes.
Oh. Yay.
So, Oggs Cruz. Oh, and also joining us is Jim Paranal. Here he is.
Happy birthday, Jim!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
Ayan. So, Jim?
Hello.
Ayan. So, today we're gonna talk about QCinema and 5 films.
Yes.
Very nice festival. It's and also the 2 documentary films. And disclaimer, Oggs here, our guest, was part of the jury for this year's edition. So
That's
he was
right. Very
involved in the
important.
judging process. So overall thoughts lang of the festival. So I thought this was a very great edition of QCinema. Parang I've seen this festival since I think the 2nd edition. So parang 2nd edition, marami pang unfinished films, maraming technical chuchu-bells. Pero ngayon, I think they're doing really great and they have a really great selection this year in terms of international films.
Really standing up for QS in quality.
Yeah, QS in quality control cinema.
QCCC.
I think it's also because of I think it's very attractive to filmmakers what QCinema is giving out. Kasi it's a grant system that doesn't have any strings attached.
Yeah, unlike the other.
Unlike Cinema One or Cinemalaya, wherein certain rights are reserved for the foundation or the film festival.
Right.
Ito talaga, I mean, you would want to join QCinema because the film is yours.
Right.
How much was the in grant money given to them?
I'm not sure. I think it's 1.5 million.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money, and then since the rights belong to the filmmakers, they have all the capability or the capacity to get outside producers. That's why you have Black Sheep. That's why you have Globe Studios financing films because pwede silang makihati dun sa kita.
Yeah. Yun.
Unlike Cinema One, wherein malaki nga yung malaki yung
grant.
seed grant, pero you're stuck with that kasi it's difficult for you to get outside producers.
And parang parang sa Cinema One ba meron bang parang na they have to show it sa channel, Cinema One channel? Parang wala naman.
Syempre, I think it's ABS-CBN property.
Yeah.
So that means the films, the films would have to be controlled by ABS-CBN or Cinema One. So wherever they send it.
Naghihiram kami ng pelikula sa show namin. Iba yung may handle ng Cinema One Originals kasi si Ronald Argelius yun. And then with Star Cinema, that's Olivia Lamasan.
But now they have ABS-CBN films.
Yeah.
ABS.
Yung ABS-CBN films kasi, I think the thing there is that instead of just Star Cinema which handles everything, there's ABS-CBN films and then there are different
Yung mga subsidiaries.
subsidiaries. So there's Cinebro, Black Sheep, Star Cinema, and Cinema One. And then yung Cinema One, I think Cinema One Originals is really for them to look for directors, up and coming directors.
Parang talent.
Parang talent pool. And then kapag okay na
Star
sila,
Circle
pwedeng
Fest.
sa Black Sheep, pwede ng Star Cinema. So it's for them to consolidate the earnings.
Okay.
Cess, what did you think of this year's festival?
It's kind of like my return to QCinema just because I took a break last year. So I actually liked it. No bias to, since this is like the only one that I was able to sort of complete. Pero kasi I always look forward to film festivals. That is Cinemalaya. I mean, tatlo pala, sige. Before it's Cinemalaya and then Cinema One Originals and then QCinema. So now it's like QCinema, Cinema One, and then Cinemalaya. So I really like this year's because it's the theme is very clear. And it's very organized.
BJ, your thoughts?
Nanghihinayan lang siguro ako na mas konti yung pelikula this year than the previous years.
Meaning yung competition entries?
Yes, yung circle.
Yung circle
entries.
competition.
Kasi parang, especially for me yung, I haven't been watching as many films this year as baliktad pala. I've been watching much more films this year than before. Pero I particularly remember yung 2015 edition ng QCinema.
QCinema?
Parang yun yung turning point. Parang ang dami-daming nag-stick sa akin na movies.
Yes.
But then again, kahit with just 5 entries, parang may dalawang super standout for me this year na super quality.
Quality cinema. Jim, what are may ano yung napanood mo sa QCinema? Marami ka ba napanood sa QCinema?
Hindi ko na naman napanood yung Dog Days and Masla kasi conflict na sa schedule ko.
So what did you think of this year's festival?
Nagustuhan ko rin naman siya, although mas gusto ko yung 2016 and 2017 when it comes to the films na in competition.
Alright, so let's move on to the circle competition entries. Oda sa Wala, by Dwayne Baltasar. It's a film about this woman. She's in charge of a funeral parlor, and one day a dead body is delivered to her doorstep, and then weird things start to happen. So, So, who wants to start about your... Ayan, si DJ, ayan.
Jim, sige. Ako muna. Kasi nga, Year of Dwayne Baltasar daw.
The Year of Dwayne Baltasar.
Well, I'll start off with yung tweet ni James Espinosa. Sabi niya, unpopular opinion, mas maganda daw yung hypothalamus than Oda sa Wala. Tapos for me, sabi ko, from a critical perspective siguro, sabihin natin na mas maganda yung Oda sa Wala. Although I personally like yung hypothalamus din talaga. Pero siguro dahil lang yun din sa outcome, yung emotion na naramdaman mo sa film. Siyempre parang, paano mo sasabihin na mas gusto ko to, natakot ako dito, or parang, di ba, parang sukdo lang repulsiveness kasi yung dinadeliver ng Oda sa Wala. Pero yung sinasabi ko na critical perspective, at least siyempre yung my own understanding of what a critical criteria is, mas may unity kasi yung Oda sa Wala. Parang mas buo yung images niya, mas nagre-revolve siya around this image of the dead body, tapos yung jasmine flower, yung song.
Yung kanta na Chinese.
Yung kanta na Chinese is Moliwa, meaning jasmine flower. Tapos pag binasa niyo yung lyrics niya, tapos kung isipin niyo yung kwento ni Sonia, yeah. Yung character niya, sobrang intense nung kasi yung the song, it speaks about being wanted by everyone. And yun yung complete opposite ng character ni Sonia na
yes,
no one ever wants her. Ayun. Tapos, what more? Yung mas konti yung dull moment siguro niya kasi parang hypothalamus was going for collection siya, ensemble of stories. Pero ito, centered talaga siya
on one character,
unitary character and theme.
Oggs, during the deliberation, ano yung thoughts niyo going on about this?
No, it was first, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but it was a very it was a very easy choice. Like it was unanimous. Everybody liked Oda sa Wala. A lot of the jury members were actually raving about it. And I think Ho Hok, the Malaysian producer, it's still raving about it on Facebook. Parang he can't. He's saying that it's one of the best Southeast Asian films he's seen this year. So it was very easy.
Personal thoughts.
Personal thoughts. Ako, I've been a fan of Dwayne
Since
the first time I read her script during Cinemalaya. Hindi ko pa siya kilala. She submitted Mamay Umeng.
That's her.
She submitted Mamay Umeng in Cinemalaya during the time, a year before Gino Santos's An Animals.
Animals, so that's
Hindi ko
like
alam,
2011?
or 2010 or so. So 2010 sinabit ngayon.
Yeah.
Shortlist ko siya. And then yung pangalan pa niya dun sa script is Donalyn Baltazar. And then hindi siya nakapunta dun sa semi-round.
Semi-round.
So hindi siya nakapag-pitch. So second year nakapag-pitch siya. And then I think she was selected as a parang backup
Alternate.
and that was the year of MNL 143. So doon ako nag-resign sa Cinemalaya. When I read her script, Mamay Umeng, makikita mo kung gaano siya ka detailed na tao, because her scripts are very detailed. You can visualize. Yeah, you can actually visualize what her film would be. So when I read Mamay Umeng and I saw Mamay Umeng in Cinema 1, it was exactly the same thing. And then yung ideas niya are universal but are presented in a way that is macabre or very interesting, in the sense na parang very dark. Like Mamay Umeng, it's about an old man wanting to die but couldn't die. Diba? Lagi siyang tumatawid sa pero lagi siyang bumabalik. So it's and then the following year, that time na na-accept yung Mamay Umeng sa Cinemalaya as a backup, doon rin sinabit rin niya yung Hypothalamus. It was really an old script. So nagustuhan ko rin yung sa Cinemalaya, kasi you wouldn't know kung sino yung writer. And then nagustuhan ko na rin talaga yung Hypothalamus. And then I was surprised that it was the same person. Because those are two very different scripts. Kung ano yung similarities niya is it's very grounded on a certain place. Na yung that one is Manila, very ode nga siya to that part of Manila, while Mamay Umeng is very grounded on Batangas, that place.
I think I saw Mamay Umeng for Cinema 1.
Cinema 1, 2012 yan.
2012. I served as creative consultant there because because
Nag-submit siya.
nabasa ko yung script, and then I think Dwayne thought na that I could help. But ayun nga, and then Oda sa Wala. So Oda sa Wala, na una kong nalaman yung Oda sa Wala when it was pitched in Cinema 1. And yung reaction namin, I didn't read the script kasi sa Cinema 1 konti lang yung nagbabasa, and then binabasa. They're divided in batches.
Okay.
And then
so not all people can
yes, so may lang. I think same rin naman yung system sa QCinema.
I see.
Pero yung pinitch nga siya, parang it's about an old it's about a lonely woman who befriends a corpse. So parang yung iniisip ko, how will that work? Parang ganyan. So hindi siya nakapasok sa Cinema 1. And then when I saw the film, parang okay, ang hirap gawin nun kasi ang load Cruz ng idea of that kind of friendship between an inanimate thing na very macabre, rotting, na nakita mong nag-rot talaga, and then isang babae na lonely, but it worked.
Yeah.
And it's very atmospheric, it's very lahat ng details ay tama, even how it's shot, even how it's framed, the cultural elements, nag-usap kami ni Philbert once, and then I was asking Philbert, do you think half Chinese si Sonia?
Si Sonia.
Si Sonia, because there's actually an altar. Yung altar for the dead mom.
Yeah.
And then yung nagpapaalala sa kanya sa nanay niya is that Chinese song, the Chinese folk song. So and then sila lang yung may business doon sa maliit na bayan na yun.
Yeah.
So may mga ganong details na the funeral parlor, 'di ba? Parang who would put up a funeral parlor in the middle of a small town?
Though may pinanood siyang another funeral parade sa start ng film eh.
Oh yeah.
Ibang-
Yeah. Siguro nga. Oh.
So baka may kakompetensya.
Baka may kakompetensya. But anyway, may business may business siyang minana.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
I'm not sure if there's that Filipino-Chinese thing there.
Yeah.
Pumasok rin siya actually sa usapan sa deliberations, because one of my co-jurors is from Hong Kong, and yung taga Singaporean parang may Chinese heritage. So parang nakarelate sila because meron nga siyang Chinese connection, and they were saying there's a Chinese, she must be Chinese because there's that shrine. And hindi naman natin ginagawa as Filipinos yung may mga incense, yung picture na natin. So ang daming details na ganun that only enriches the storytelling. So it's not really just a story. It's an experience. It's a very complete portrait of that woman's life. That sorry woman's life without spoon feeding the audience.
May dalawang reactions ako doon. First, yung hindi ko pa kasi napanood yung Mamay Ube. Na tapos sinabi mo na so far lahat ng films ni Dwayne Baltasar ay rooted in a place. And it turns out na itong third film niya ay the first one na wala lutang siya parang wala siyang specific place at wala din siyang specific time, parang hindi nga siya present day, di ba? Parang
Actually, it's nice that you mentioned Mamay Umeng kasi when I saw that, parang People's Choice siya pinang People's Choice ko siya sa Cinema 1.
Yung Mamay Ube.
Oo.
Wow.
Actually,
Alam pala, maya lahat yata natulog yata.
Si Pascaline number 1 ko. Tapos si Mamay Umeng yung number 2. Tapos, yun nga, may colleagues nun. Tawa sila ng tawa. So, bakit si Mamay Umeng yung gusto mo? Sabi ko na ganun. Sabi ko, siguro kasi, parang sa akin, I'm so familiar with death in my life. Na parang sa akin, this guy wants to die, pero nobody wants to give it to him. Na tipong, ako lang ata yung tumawa sa room nung nag-celebrate siya ng birthday. Na tapos tulala lang siya. As in, tulala lang siya na parang, eto na naman. I have to go through this. Parang gano'n. So, it's good kasi parang nung napanood ko rin si Oda, there are little details like yung frame nga sa door. Na parang she was trying to immerse herself in her neighbors' lives in a way na parang hindi niya magawa kasi parang hindi siya sanay. Tapos hanggang sa palaki hanggang sa full screen na nasa labas siya ng bahay, ganun. So yeah, I agree, parang she's a very detailed writer in a sense na parang si Mamay Umeng sobrang bilis lang pero parang at saka sobrang few words. Pero
halos wala kang nagsalita eh. Si Sue Prado lang yata yung nagsalita doon.
Parang kumain ka ng pansit, parang gano'n na yung line niya. Tapos parang si yung matanda parang nakaganon, na effortless yung acting, ganun. I liked it kasi sobrang parang pinakita doon yung environment ng matanda na parang ito na lang yung life niya, parang lahat ng mga apo niya, they're all playing with him pero siya bored na bored, ganun. So yun. So parang yun nga din, parang sino kaya nanakit kay Dwayne or what kind of backup?
About yung yung pagiging detail niya. Interesting yun kasi may nakausap ako sa selection committee ng QCinema this year na siya yung one of the people who voted against Oda sa Wala on the basis na in the words of that person, sobrang nipis daw ng material. I haven't seen the script myself.
I think kasi yung script itself sobrang
descriptive.
Sobrang literally manifest. Kasi wala naman talaga nangyayari. Di ba?
Descriptions of scenes.
Oh, yeah. So, baka nga, I mean,
So, ito yung tipo ng pelikula na
hindi siya actually plot driven eh. It's more
talagang
ano eh.
na-flesh out lang siya in the making of the
Pero yung sa comment mo about place, although hindi specific locality or whatever, ano siya, what I'm trying to say is, the setting, which is the province, has a huge role in the film.
Actually, yun nga, parang meaningful sa akin yun na ito, biglang nawala siya ng specific place.
okay.
Kasi Oda sa wala.
Yeah,
parang
yeah,
it goes to nothing na. So parang bibigyan mo ba ng specific place yung ode to nothing?
Yeah.
Yun. Personally, gusto ko rin siya. Personal preference lang, pero mas gusto ko ng konting-konti yung hypothalamus. Pero,
Why do you like hypothalamus more?
wala lang kasi.
Ako, I like the ambition of hypothalamus.
Yes.
I think Dwayne challenged herself with hypothalamus.
Yun. Basically that. Tsaka, Yana Bernardes. Tsaka lang.
So, Joy.
Hi, Joy. Actually, same sentiments as you guys. Ganda eh. Ang solid ng pagkagawa niya. And I guess from a medical perspective, very accurate yung corpse.
So magaling si Rempton.
Yeah, magaling si Rempton.
Si Rempton yung ano eh.
Kasi ang dami ko na nakitang bangkay in various states of decay. Tapos, in fairness, nakuha niya yung desperately tinatry mong embalsamahin pa, pero
Although,
hindi
John,
na kaya.
yung nasa bathtub yung corpse, ganun ba talaga? Ay, dun lang ako medyo parang...
yung nakaupo?
Yung pinapaliguan yung corpse. Parang
Pwede.
matigas eh.
Oo, matigas. Kasi,
Parang wooden na talaga eh.
Oo.
Ayun lang yung ako, parang okay.
If you
Mukha
add-
talaga siyang prop ng doon.
If you add enough formalin to like human tissue, talagang titigas siya.
So possible yun.
May rigor mortis, di ba?
Yeah,
Initially.
yeah. Pero mukhang wood eh. Napanood. Mukha siyang wooden eh.
Yeah.
Mukha siyang prop na siya.
Kung nakakita kayo ng cadaver yung sa med school,
Okay.
yung med school cadavers, hindi na sila mukhang tao. Mukha sila yung kagaya ng itsura.
Pero mabaho na to.
Mabaho na may amoy formalin. Depende sa nilagay kung gaano kadaming in-inject ni Sonia.
So feeling mo may kinausap silang doktor.
Siguro, embalsamador, pwede. Nagkagawa naman nila yan.
Kasi sobrang basic lang nung ano na yun, nung sofa. Tingnan mo na, sofa lang. Pero parang ang basic lang, ang basic lang nung nung bed. For me, kasi, di ba basta may namatay sa pamilya, muntik ko na makita. Sobrang basic, kasi usually, di ba metallic
Yeah.
sa kanya semento. So, parang
Ayun. Ganda. And Marietta Subong,
ayan.
Yes, yeah.
talagang she carries the film from beginning to end.
At saka it helped that she's a comedian.
Yeah.
It helped that she's a comedian and playing
against type.
Hindi
No,
sa
yung
against
timing
type
eh.
Pero alam
Yung
niya
timing.
alam niya yung humor ng character. May ganun eh.
Yeah.
May intuition na as opposed to dramatic actors, may intuition siya na okay, i-artihin ko to pero nakakatawa yung scene eh. So why don't we
Kung nanakawan siya,
Oo, yeah.
Yeah.
Galit na galit siya.
Kanang-
mo pa ako.
So, asset sa kanya yung kanyang comedic talents
Yes,
in this
yes.
case.
Parang additional tension na hindi mo alam kung tatawa ka ba.
Or,
moment.
Pero kasi like yung sa deliberations, nobody knew that she was a comedian.
Yeah.
Pero they were impressed and they were actually commenting on the fact that there are comedic moments that were very well played.
Jim, question.
Hindi, ang ko lang muna, yung observation ko kasi nasaktuhan kasi ba nung to farm si Pokwang ay nasa soul searching.
Yes.
Ito yung reaction
Meron
ko.
din siyang patay na katawan.
Oo, diba? Sagot ba to sa soul searching?
Hindi, pero
Oda
di
sa
ba
wala.
may sinabi nga si si Jade Castro yata. Auteur si
Kasi puro
auteur
puro
si
death.
si Pokwang. Kasi nga, di ba, she was in The Anothers.
And others.
She was in basta marami siyang
Mga death.
ghostly namatay siya sa kay Kim Chu.
Wala yung mga theme kasi nung films ni Pokwang. Dark comedy siya. Hindi siya yung usual, di ba, sa mga comedian na talagang may mga tawag yung slapstick or sarcastic comedy.
Meron siyang style na pang sa
Doon siya
kanya.
nalilinya.
Yeah.
Ang another na na-observe ko din kasi while watching the film, yung quiet siya, slow pace, and then parang pinapakita yung routine ng ginagawa ni Pokwang.
Yes.
Yung movie na John Dialman ni Chantal Ackerman. Kaya yun yung parang gusto kong tanongin sana dun sa film.
Sige, tanongin natin next time. Kay Dwayne.
Ayun. So, yun. Gustuhan ko din siya. Maganda yung composition ng film. Pag,
Magaling si Neil Dala. At saka ang ganda ng collaboration ng dalawa.
Yes.
Alam mo,
Yeah.
yung color tone is siya,
Yeah.
si Dwayne.
Si Pokwang parang may parts doon na parang nagbe-blend siya doon sa sa scene.
Tsaka yung framing talaga ng
frame.
pelikula.
Exquisite.
Lahat
Planado.
precise.
Ako yung pagiging static ng camera, tapos piling-pili yung gagalaw yung camera.
Yes.
So parang
Exactly.
haunting. Parang may trikuha na siyang horror.
Gusto ko yung term na yun, haunting.
Haunting.
Parang nagbumulti yung camera.
Guys, may question ako sa inyo. Yung character ni Junie Gamboa, multo rin ba yun? Spoilers pala.
Ako I prefer na hindi.
Ako din yun.
Kasi parang I prefer siya pa hindi naman interpretation.
Yeah.
I prefer na hindi kasi it shows the kung gaano kaano yung family niya, kung gaano dysfunctional yung family. The fact that the only time they talked was when this other thing invaded their space.
Makes sense.
Kaya nung una, di ba, nung pinapanood ko siya rin, ang na-observe ko, parang may wall, di ba, dun sa kay Junie Gamboa.
Alam mo, parang mga multo sila sa bahay.
Yeah. Although at first, ayun nga, akala ko nga rin parang wraith si Junie Gamboa, or parang siya, figment ng imagination ni Pokwang.
Saka marami naman naka-observe na kailangan buhay si Junie Gamboa kasi parang lumabas yung irony na mas kinausap niya yung patay kaysa sa buhay.
Kasi sa buhay. Yeah. Yun. Nawala lang kasi siya dun sa guys, yung final scene nga pala, which is a very heavily talked about. Excellent scene. Yun, na tipong, to you guys, what does it mean?
Ako, nakita ko doon, mirror siya nung opening scene. Yung ilaw na iniikutan ng mga langaw.
Oo. Kumbaga siya yung ilaw.
Siya yung ilaw or yung buwan or basta nagme-meld kasi yung images and then lumabas yung yun.
Kumbaga.
Kasi parang pinagkukuha ko nun is hypothalamus na mirror din yung first and last shots
Yeah.
Parang feeling ko inulit niya for this film.
Ganda nga. May pagka-symmetrical yung...
Ako, I didn't understand it. No, I mean, I have to be honest. I didn't know what it meant. But I think it was a very fine emotional summation ng pelikula. Parang, I like the fact that I didn't understand it because it left me confused. It left me in a space wherein it left me in a space wherein ako mismo, I couldn't understand saan pupunta yung characters, saan sila pupulutin. But I thought it was a very nice ending because even though it left me bewildered, parang tamang-tama na ito yung lalabas ako ng sinihan na ganito yung feeling ko kesa yung ending na parang sobrang definite or sobrang okay pa, ito pala. I was left parang thinking about it.
Yung word for it na I use is poetic parang image over everything else. Image over sense, ganun.
Sa akin, yun, parang sometimes kasi, you can like the whole film, pero when you talk about the ending, parang, yeah, it's okay. Pero siya, parang, Kaya ako lalong nagtaka kasi bakit ganun yung ending niya. So parang in a way, the whole thing kasi is very dysfunctional. So yung ending parang it summed up na this is a very dysfunctional film. Pero kumbaga, kung pupunta ka ng Divisoria, may nakita kang mamahalin doon, yun, parang ganun. For me, parang ganun. Parang sobrang quality niyang film. Parang without
Jim?
any bias, out of all the 5 films, siya na yung talagang malayo agwat niya dun sa apat.
Aaminin ko din, hindi ko rin naintindihan yung ending.
Meron ba nakaintindihan?
Kumbaga, perplex nga ako dun sa ending din. Pero just like what DJ said, na poetic siya eh. Doon mo na siya, parang ilalagay mo na siya dun sa part na yung pagiging poetic nung ending. Bahala ka na kung anong isipin mo na namatay ba siya dahil sumama na siya dun sa corpse, or ano ba to, imagination na lang. Ano siya eh, marami kang maiisip mo sa ending.
Sino nga ba yung nag-review na sinasabing, kasi she rides the hearse at the end, na parang tipong she's riding her own funeral. Ikaw ba yung DJ?
I wrote that.
Yun. So, pwedeng ganun. So, sige guys, move on tayo sa next film. Tayo ng Lagit, Dan Villegas. So, it's based on Virgin Lab Fest play. So, parang may purgatory space na sets of post office natin siya. So, there's this couple that, there's these 2 old people that meet each other. They're exes. And then, they deal with each other and the possibility of heaven versus getting back together. Yeah, that's basically it. So, who wants to start Hintayin ng Langit by Dan Villegas?
Okay,
Did you all see it? Have you all seen it?
yes.
So, Hintayin ng Langit, okay naman. I think the others here will not agree with me.
No.
Yan. It's fine. Parang yun nga, it's centered on the one act play. No, so nung pinahaba siya, parang nag-meander medyo sa gitna until naging ending. The ending I'm not really on board with. Pero I see yung argument niya na parang there's this couple na they didn't get their chance in life, in death. Parang why not? Let's try.
And for me, there's a pull for hugot film. I mean, I don't want to blame Dan Villegas or si Juan Miguel Severo, but they're kind of tied up with hugot film culture for me. So parang may sa akin, while watching, there's this stigma in my mind na okay, later on there's gonna be some bits na that would actually emulate, exes meeting with each other. So
Yeah.
for me, there's a little bad acting here and there with the flashbacks.
Ay, supporting cast.
Yeah. And story-wise, I mean, sobrang galing. I mean, acting-wise with Eddie and Gina, of course.
Oh, they're
Galing
excellent,
ng,
yeah.
Ang galing ng pairing nila, parang hindi mo inakala.
Ang cute.
Ang cute siya. Pero sa akin, parang nag-settle lang siya for cute. Hindi ko siya nakuha na ng depth.
Yeah.
Kasi parang yun nga. So, death na naman yung topic or the afterlife. Parang sa akin, it would have been a very interesting play perhaps. I've never seen a play, but it would have been interesting maybe if the ending were different. Some structure were different. In a sense na parang sa akin, okay na siguro kung napunta ka na ng heaven, hindi na kayo nagkatuluyan kasi what's the point? Parang ganun.
Oggs, your thoughts?
Ako, I liked it. It pushed the right buttons.
Debate na.
Hindi, I agree. Parang, sa akin, I think the hugot genre is here to stay whether you like it or not. And there's a demand for it. So at least there's this attempt from filmmakers to try to expand that genre instead of repeating the same plot over and over again.
Yeah.
So at least it's a fresh take on the genre. What I agree with the sentiment na it does feel stretched in the sense na the minor characters don't feel like they really have a reason to be there except for the fact na
Parang filler.
na nandun lang talaga sila para magkaroon ng ibang characters. However, I like the idea of them being in purgatory, waiting for heaven, which is supposed to, in our minds, heaven is the ultimate goal, di ba? Everybody wants to be in heaven because this is primary.
I disagree.
Hindi, pero hindi. I mean, traditionally, heaven is bliss, perfect bliss, no problems, ganyan. Pero yung ending, which is, I think, kaya ko sinabi, push the right button. Kasi nga, and yung take ko kasi dito, it's parang, it's really Severo's, it's really Severo's defense of his art. Parang yung art kasi nga is yung art kasi nga is primarily hinged on pain, on
relishing
aches
pain.
and now he has this script, he has this film wherein the characters would prefer humanity, yung aches
And pains of humanity.
heartaches, pain, love-related pains, as opposed to pure bliss in heaven.
Yeah.
So may ganun siyang dynamic na nagustuhan ko, na naintindihan ko, na it makes sense. It makes sense coming from Mr. Severo. Except that it's still a very problematic film in the sense na it staggers. It could have been a short film.
Yeah.
It's very well made. Dan Villegas is a very capable craftsman.
Sige, Princess, may tingin.
And then,
May tingin
pero yung sa akin kasi, when we were deliberating on Best Actor, I was rooting for the Dog Days protagonist.
Oh, si Michael
Yes.
Jordan Lily.
Because kung merong weakness yung film, it's not Gina Pareño's very excellent. It's Eddie Garcia. I'm so sorry. He's very good in ML, pero here he's
Very
just
relaxed.
okay.
Yeah. Relax lang.
And I never felt the chemistry.
Yeah, that's why it's only cute.
No, it's cute. It's cute because there are two old people falling in love again.
Yeah. Pero it's not.
Pero
the
hindi siya
most
yung
excellent
hindi siya yung tipong Clint
performance.
Eastwood and
Yeah.
And now our special guest, Dan Villegas. Joke. Joke.
So ayun, ayun take ko sa it's feeling ko it will do well kapag mag-commercial release.
Later this month or next year?
So meron na.
I think meron na eh.
November 21 ata.
November 21.
Yeah. Nakakatawa si Gina Pareño. She's very good.
She's great, yeah.
She's
very good.
Actually, nagustuhan ko yung film because of Gina Pareño kasi medyo fanini si Gina Pareño, aminado. So, alam naman si Gina Pareño when it comes to comedy, effective talaga siya. Ganun. And okay siya sa akin. It's just that uma-agree ako kay Tristan na yung sa gender politics ng film. Yun yung
Yeah, parang
yun yung naging problematic dun sa
ang ni Tristan is parang unequal yung interplay yung character ni Gina Pareño tsaka ni
Eddie Garcia.
Parang may implication na nag-cheat si Eddie Garcia?
Si Gina.
Si Gina.
Kasi
Kasi
Eddie Garcia.
kasi yung umalis si Eddie Garcia, nagdumadi siya.
Nalandi siya, ganun.
Future husband niya.
Hindi siya nakapaghintay pa.
Pero si Eddie ba yung nag-cheat?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. Based on experience.
Dahil Marino siya.
Men are trash, ganun.
Wala naman lahat na nag-cheat si Eddie Garcia.
Pero umamin siya.
Umamin siya, may dialogue siya na umamin siya.
Umamin siya.
Akala ko parang, hindi ko na-catch yun. Parang akala ko silent lang siya nung kinonfront siya ni Gina Pareño.
Well, there's ewan ko parang
Tinanong kasi siya ni Gina
tinanong
Pareño.
siya and he didn't answer. I mean, although based on my guy friends, a sensible guy would never say na or would never defend If they didn't really do anything. Pero
Kasi ako nag-cheat eh. Hindi pa naka-experience ng ganun.
So based from someone who's experienced, wow! ay nag-cheat siya. Kaya hindi siya maka-defend no, na parang kaya hindi kita napuntahan, ganun. Kasi he agreed na, yeah, I did. I had sex with
Some ladies.
with women in the ano, ganun.
With the ladies.
Pero he's a gentleman in a sense. Kasi hindi niya sinabi na outright. Sorry. Yun, he's a gentleman in a sense kasi he didn't admit it outright. So, diba
DJ, your thoughts?
Similar to Seth, coming into the movie, medyo mababa yung expectations ko. Sorry kung snooty, pero highlight kasi talaga na it's a story by Juan Miguel Severo. Na magaling naman talaga si Juan Miguel Severo pag pinapanood ko yung spoken word poetry niya. Parang
Si Seth talaga.
ramdam ko naman parang
Pwede natin picturean to.
siguro
Parang inamagen.
pusong batawa ko hindi ka maaantig din sa sinasabi niya. Pero at the same time, dahil siguro mababa ang expectations ko, na-surprise din ako na it had something profound to say. Best element siguro ng film for me is yung production design. Natuwa ako dun sa parang late European design nung airport/purgatory. Tapos dahil doon, naalala ko yung No Exit by Jean-Paul Sartre na compliment parang kung sinabi sa No Exit na yung epiphany is hell is other people, ito naman parang it's the other way around, parang
Heaven is other people.
something else. Parang ganun. Yeah.
Oh,
Parang that's more profound than I expected the movie to be.
Okay guys, next film. Masla Apapan.
sorry, apapan ako.
So, Baitang mga Mangansakan, it takes place during the end of the Spanish occupation. Tama ba? Or Americans na?
Spanish.
Parang colonial, basta colonial times. And then there's...
mid Spanish colonial times.
Yeah. So there's...
During the attempt of Spain to
Invade.
conquer
Yeah,
conquer Mindanao.
Mindanao. So there's this princess. She's found by Spaniards.
Yes.
She's converted to Christianity. Meanwhile, the tribe that she leaves behind is tribe that she left behind is having problems of their own. So yun. Have you all seen Masla?
Yeah.
Yes.
DJ, have you seen Masla? Yeah. So
Who wants to go first?
ako, I liked it. Production-wise, yun nga, I think the most common is it's not yet, parang hindi pa siya tapos. Which I understand. Pero conceptually, it's very rich. And although it's very slow, matagal talaga, it's for a 1 hour 25-minute movie, yung pace niya is not very fast. Pero okay pa rin siya sa akin. Yun.
Okay.
Yun lang.
I agree. Conceptually, maganda siya. And I think the beauty of Teng Mangansakan's cinema is the fact that he shows this part of Philippine history. Siyempre, we can debate about Philippines as a nation. Pero this part of Philippine history that Manila or at least
Luzon-centric.
Luzon or basta at least ako ilalagay ko sa sarili ko, I was not taught in school or I was not aware of, kasi sa akin when you talk about Spanish conquest of the Philippines, it started with Magellan, and then lahat ng alam natin was what happened in Cavite, what happened in Luzon, what happened in Pangasinan, but nobody knew the fact that the Spaniards had a hard time trying to get their claws into Mindanao. So yung particular film na to exposed that na parang this wasn't just hindi siya
Gawa lang.
actually hindi siya katulad ng pag-conquer sa Manila or pag-conquer sa Luzon, they had a harder time here. They had to convert, they had to do all of those things. So it's very interesting kasi nga yung cinema nga ni Teng Mangansakan from forgotten history, it displayed all of those parts of Philippine history that we neglected to see.
Have you seen Kiyama?
No, actually, I haven't seen Kiyama. So ayun. Except that, ayun nga, it's an unfinished film. This was also a script that he submitted in Cinema One. So there are actually 3 episodes here. So it's not just the Spanish, part of the history. Kasi yung supposed bird na nagsisignal ng apocalypse, nag-appearance siya during the time of the Americans, when the Americans were also trying to conquer Mindanao, and then it also appeared during the time na when the characters are old na.
So yung present day.
Yeah, so 3 episodes siya talaga. So it's really sad that ito yung released film. And I think ito yung weakness ng film festival, film culture ng Pilipinas.
May schedule ka na kailangan.
May schedule ka na kailangan sundan. Instead of, I mean, it's good that the funds don't have any strings attached, but there is actually a string, which is the premiere of the film in November. So now you have this very ambitious film that is forced to screen despite it being unfinished. So ano kaya to kapag Teng had all the money, all the resources that he can muster without having the deadline, it could have been a masterpiece. Because it shows. I mean, makikita mo naman sa pelikula, ang daming mga scenes na beautifully composed, na may mga passages na very lyrical, very poetic.
I think yung parang may parang filmmaking style siya during the Spanish segments na felt very
Love Diaz.
slash parang old-fashioned.
Ako hindi nga love this Pasolini eh. May ganung naturalistic na acting yung mga tao na you can see na hindi siya traditionally well acted in the sense na they don't act like Gina Pareño, they don't act like Eddie Garcia, pero the way they were throwing their lines, the fact na very unemotional, very very detached, may there's a certain charm to that na parang may anthropological charm dun sa yung dating ng performances ng
Ethnographic.
may even the look very specific.
So, as for me, kasi I came
You're
from
from
the
there.
South. So, I'm very familiar. Actually, when I first saw it and then we all discussed, parang ang dami kong kinontra. Kasi sabi ko, that's actually how everyone there would talk about our myths, our stories, ganyan. So, in defense to Masla, Papanok, Masla actually means solution. So, it's solution to the bird. Ganun. Since yung bird nga is a symbol of chaos, of apocalypse, ganyan. So, if I can just talk about the 3 segments, and I know it's actually not finished, pero in defense of this version, for me it's kind of enough, but I'm also excited to see the finished version. So the first part, that's actually textbook Spanish colonialism of the South, na tipong they're gonna get your culture, your identity, your everything.
Tatanggalin.
Yes. Second part, according to Teng, is kaya colored siya kasi that's Love Diaz's version of the myth ng sa Ibon. And Love Diaz isn't actually from the South. He's an Ilonggo, pero he grew up there. So kaya siya, for me, my interpretation of that is that kaya siya colored. Yung black and white, that's the version that our grandparents or our lolos and lolas would tell us na parang naku, yung mga Espanyol na yan, mutik na tayo sakupin, ganyan-ganyan. Parang kaya maraming mga dito, maraming mga Kristiyano kasi ganyan. So yun. And then they would say na ang mga Moro, mga yan, madudumi yan, ganyan. That's the black and white thing. So colored kasi it's the outsider's point of view of the story. Pero it was good kasi may eksena doon na parang sabi niya, parang makikita mo yung buong point, I mean, the other point of the film na parang yung idolism, it exists pre-colonial and post-colonial. Kasi in Manila, we are taught na the Westerns are our idols. God or Jesus Christ is our main idol kasi Catholicism was instilled dito. Doon, akala mo or parang ang unang part or all the segments would show na actually idolism has been existing even before the Catholic period. Kasi may part doon na yung slave, inamoy niya yung damit ng lola, nung queen. Ganyan. So I think, that's very genius for me. Na parang, kasi kung if it's, yun nga, parang it's good how Teng writes and how he constructs the films for the southern interpretation. Kasi parang he's trying to explain it to the people from the north in a way na parang hindi niya ina-erase yung version ng sa south. So yun.
Yun. DJ, any thoughts?
Yung nung pinag-usapan natin dun sa chat during QCinema, parang natuwa naman ako na very enlightening yung mga sinabi mo, yung explanations mo, what you just said. Pero yung di lang talaga maano sa akin is yung technical roughness ng movie.
Kasi, well, maybe lack of budget, pero that's yung the way na dinescribe doon yung iibon, na para siyang man-like, na may parang shadowy claw na red eyes. Ganun talaga. I mean, actually, I have this one favorite fable ng dad ko about the unggoys, ganyan. Na parang basta parang kaya doon uso yung rambutan because of this. So, parang ganun. That's how they tell the story. And, yung shinare ko sa chat was si Nine Lives. So, yun. So,
pero, I mean, totoo naman na it's among the five entities, siya talaga yung very apparent yung technical deficiencies. Ayun nga, may parang it's ambitious. Perhaps it is too ambitious for it to be a film festival film. So again, it brings us to the topic of yung pinaka-problema talaga ng film festival culture. Because again, now we have these films that nakahinayang because I mean,
kung well executed.
Yes. Parang kasi yung sa Masla, parang pinilit mo si Gerald na gawin yung General Luna with a budget of 500,000 pesos within 3 months.
Yes.
So ganun yung dating niya. So what if Teng had the budget, had Globe Studios, except that I don't think Globe Studios would, in all fairness to Quark, he probably would finance something like this. But I don't think any other mainstream studios would want to touch a subject like this because again, this is very specific. So it also brings us to the topic of what really is regional cinema, and do they belong lang ba to film festivals?
Yes.
Parang ayun it's
a predicament na.
It's a predicament that needs to be discussed.
Yes.
I wish, my wish is sana deliberate themselves from the system and they try to establish their own
or the film festivals should liberate themselves from the tradition that was started by Cinemalaya.
Yes.
Kasi I mean they've been giving grants except that they value the film festival too much that the films suffer quality.
Which I think what's also lacking is distribution talaga. Parang I actually pondered bakit Climax may block screening. I mean, sabi ko, pwede pala mag-block screening sa festival. I didn't know. I'm not familiar kung dati pang tradition yun. Pero sabi ko, kung si Climax pwedeng i-block screening, bakit hindi na lang sa next year i-block screening yung mga competition films for schools? Ganon. Kasi
pwede.
At least, bayad na yun. At the same time, pwede mo ipang assignment or pang exam.
Kikita kayo doon.
Kikita ka pa doon. So, yun.
Yun,
Kasi yun yung lacking eh. Parang, it's sad na only a few people or, cinephiles or like us guys are aware of these films, but it's not that scattered unless...
And senior citizens.
Thank you po for always...
For patronizing, ganun.
Yes. Same.
Yun, hinayang nga na hindi natin nakita yung full vision. Pero, ang curiosity ko kasi palagi for any Mindanaoan film. Sorry kung parang kinakahon ko siya ng Mindanaoan film. Pero, meron bang sobrang unique na film na masasabi mo, ito, Mindanaoan voice to? Kasi ang nakikita ko pa lang so far is parang Women of the Weeping River, which is actually very Western. Parang very conventional yung...
Well, it's hard to categorize eh. Kasi even Mindanao has its own regions eh. You have the Muslim population, yan, mga kami. You have yung mga lumads, like kay Princess.
And then yung may Christians din.
May Christians din na...
Sharon.
Si Sharon.
Si Sharon. Si Sharon.
So, iba-iba eh.
And they all have their own concerns, di ba?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can say yung, kunyari, Zamboangan cinema is different from Davao cinema.
Ano pala si Christian pala si ano? Si Sherrod? Sherrod? Okay, wala lang.
Ayan.
Sanchez siya, di ba?
Sharon Sanchez.
Oo nga, hindi kasi ano.
Si Sharon Dayok.
Sharon
siguro.
Dayok.
Sharon Dayok.
Hindi. Again, same yung question mo. What's Mindanaoan cinema? So, the easiest way to describe this
Cinema from Mindanao.
Cinema from a Mindanaoan filmmaker, di ba? That discusses their predicament or their culture. So that includes Arnel Mardoquio, whose films are always about the lumad
Yes.
Bagani Fiona, si Arnel Barbarona, si RB Barbarona.
Tupig Imato.
Sherad, Sharon, Zurich.
So it's very diverse din.
Yeah, it's like Philippine cinema. I mean, that concept of what Philippine cinema is. Now you have to divide Cebuano, Ilocano. So, ayun.
Siguro parang, I'm not sure if it's right na hinahanap ko siya. Pero nahanap ko yung sobrang distinct na voice na parang what Kidlat Tahimik did for his culture sa Cordilleras. Na meron bang ganun ka-distinct na voice from Mindanao?
Pero even Kidlat Tahimik, sa akin mas mas individual siya kaysa representative of what Baguio is eh.
Yes. Parang pati sa Luzon, iba-iba din yung ano.
Sa bagay. Yeah.
So yun. Any more thoughts, guys, before we move on to the next film?
No more.
Okay, anong gusto niyo next?
Hoping
Dog
to
Days?
see it. I haven't seen Dog Days.
Sige, Dog Days na lang. Ganun talaga, I haven't seen Dog Days. Dog Days. Joke lang.
Go.
So, Dog Days. So, there's this, it's directed by Timmy Harn. It's about this guy.
What is it about?
It's about this guy who wants to be the greatest basketball player in the universe. And then there's drugs. There's like demons. There's blood magic. And then there's a car. So, what do you think of Dog Days, guys? DJ, you first.
The craziest Filipino film I've seen. And in a good way kasi sobrang challenging yan yun. Parang, I guess it's even more thought-provoking than Oda sa Wala for me.
Oh.
This lineup. Kasi mas madami siyang hinain. Parang,
Actually, yeah, I really like the first part of this film, yung basketball. I thought nung nagda-drugs na sila, well, I know na, drugs. Ganun. Pero nung nag-drugs siya, parang the film felt like static. Parang nandun lang siya.
slow down.
Yeah, it slowed down a bit. Pero the ending was great. And I think kami ni Oggs, we both got the very last scene of the film na parang the gallant was his mother and then him returning inside the mother, parang bumabalik siya sa mother's womb, parang ganun. May parang ganung imagery na nangyari. Pero, yeah, it's fun.
Baka kaya siya nag-slow down kasi nga naging high na sila doon. So,
Pwede eh.
to reflect yung mood din ng character.
Parang yun nga yung parang metaphor ko, parang yung drugs, yung pelikula ng drugs. So parang yung first part, ayun, medyo pre-tama, tas nung middle part, tumama na yung drugs. Tapos yung ending, parang doon na nawawala yung tama.
ang daming disturbing scenes, pero at the same time, sobrang funny din. Especially the way it defies yung expectations mo, yung subversion sa expectations mo, yung may meet cute, and then
May meet-
sobrang in
Parang
advance yung
rom-com eh.
parang tinagal na lahat
Yeah.
ng intervening scenes, diretso na din sa action.
Yeah, exactly. Yun. So, iba siya eh.
And then parang may sports movie element pa na
Yeah, I thought they were gonna run with the sports element from what I saw in the trailer. Pero it evolved into something different by the middle. Na yun nga, sana gusto ko yung impression ko nga kasi there's may rival yung main character si Manrique ba yun?
Manrique.
Yeah,
The blood.
The blood of Manrique. I was thinking baka may blood magic din tong sila blood of Manrique. Baka may angel yan na may blood magic na angel. Ganun.
or not necessarily blood magic talaga. Parang iba lang yung parang
Fortified
loyalty to the clan lang yun.
Pwede, no? Yeah. So, yun. Okay naman siya. From a medical perspective, may isang scene doon na...
Yung abortion.
Yung abortion scene. Spoiler. Parang kulang yung tissue na nakuha ni Barbara Ruaro sa kanya. Kasi malaki na yung tiyan niya eh. So, parang
Ilang months na ba siya nun?
I was thinking around...
Terminal yata siya.
Yeah,
Hindi pa.
7-ish. Ganun eh. I was expecting more body parts. Pero parang parang
Pares.
parang ground beef lang yung nakuha kita ko. Ganun.
Nakita ko pares eh.
I've seen my share of macerated fetuses in my day. Charot lang. Pero yun, Oggs, what were your thoughts?
Okay, I really liked it. I really liked Dog Days.
You really like that?
Because I've heard and read a lot of mixed reviews. Okay, so why did you like it?
Ano siya first it's again lately kasi I've been seeing a lot of good Filipino films, pero what's lacking, which was abundant during the early 2009, 2010, 2011 were films that were going against the grain.
Yes.
And finally, there's this film, Dog Days, that at least made me feel that, okay, meron pa palang gumagawa ng ganito. Na there's something different. It doesn't look glossy, doesn't look sleek. It has a very distinct aesthetic. I remember when Timmy Harn was pitching this for Cinema 1, I think 2 years or 3 years ago, yung aesthetic niya dito is dapat mukha siyang restored Filipino film. So may ganong distinct understanding si Timmy Harn kung ano yung gusto niyang pelikula. And it showed. And then very distinct yung sense of humor ni Timmy Harn nandun sa pelikula.
Yes.
So kahit jarring yung comedy dun sa material, it sticks with you. So tama ka na yung expectations mo as to what the film would be or should be or how the plot should move forward, it was lahat binabali. So in the sense it's nag-risk talaga yung pelikula. So ayun, I enjoyed it. I thought the lead should have won Best Actor kasi nga for him to be able to hold such a film together, such a film that na very diverse yung aesthetic together, ang galing niya.
It held it.
Yes.
Naman,
And then I was trying to understand it. Parang it's about culture natin of may pagka post-colonial siya eh.
Yes.
Na yung main character is a half American na actually hindi nga niya alam kung Amerikano talaga yung tatay niya. Pero ini-imagine niya na American siya, half American siya, and then his salvation is this sport na minana lang natin sa mga kano. And then in the end he goes back to this car which is mother niya, parang ang daming mga implications sa ganun na I'm not trying to understand it, pero at least it's giving me that sense na okay, hindi to kalokohan lang, hindi to si Timmy Hart kasama niya yung mga barkada niya. Oh, ito ganito mangyayari. Meron siyang meron siyang laman. Kahit sobrang sabog niya, may laman siya, and ayun yung gusto ko. Pelikula na hindi kumakahon or hindi nagta-try to fit into the model of what a quality film should be. Because right now we have that it's that again, the Cinemalaya culture wherein a film should give you this level of comfort na you understand everything, and that's a quality film. Hindi, it should actually disrupt it. This film disrupted me like no other QCinema disrupted me. Tama ba yun? Mali yung grammar ko dun.
This film ruined me.
Hindi naman, it didn't ruin me, pero it reminded me of the pleasures back when I was just starting out.
Is it like RKO film, early RKO films?
RKO? Hindi, mas siya sino ba? Can?
Yeah. May pagka-punk siya.
Yeah. Jim Lumbera. Yung ganung siya, I guess, kasi si Timmy Hart doon naman siya sa barkada na yun sa circle na yun So, I guess it's coming from the same wellspring of creativity. But ayun, I hope mas maraming makapanood, and then kahit yung mga wasak niyong ideas can actually be turned into films that work.
Concern ko lang siguro, or curiosity about yung acting, kasi hindi talaga ako magaling mag-evaluate ng acting skills. Pero for this festival, I also rooted for Ibes over Eddie Garcia and Adrian Vergara over anyone else. Pero pinaka nagulat ako, si Marcos Adoro winning over everyone else.
Best supporting actor, right?
Best supporting actor. Parang any comments, parang what,
Oggs.
parang what garnered him that, or
Sino ba yung pinagpipilian namin doon? Sino ba yung nominees doon?
best supporting actor? Yun lang na parang.
Hindi, siya, and then sino pa ba?
Dalawa lang sila actually. Best supporting actor, right?
Best
Si Junie.
Dalawa lang.
Junie Gamboa.
Junie Gamboa.
Actually, medyo close fight siya between Junie and
interesting.
and Marcos Adoro. Bakit nga ba namin pinili si Marcos? Kasi mas tumatak siya.
Tumatak.
The fact na ang tagal niyang nawala dun sa pelikula, and then yung pagbalik niya, nandun pa rin siya. Although, gets ko naman yung concern, gets ko yung apprehension na, is this good acting? Kasi, sabog siya dun. Yung pagtapon niya ng mga linya, parang, hindi iffy very tentative. Parang hindi mo alam kung umaarte siya, pero it worked. It worked in the film.
In the greater sense of
in the
things.
if it were again the traditional well-acted sense na tipong Junie Gamboa na talagang skillful, learned, would it work in Dog Days? Would that kind of acting work in Dog Days? Would that kind of acting support the very raw acting of Ibes?
Parang kasi parang yun yung expectation So hindi yun yung papasok dito sa subversive na.
Yes.
Yung other nominees pala is sa Oda sa Wala din, Dido de la Paz.
Si Dido. Yeah.
Si Dido.
So Dido, Junie, and Marcos.
And Marcos.
I think if I remember correctly, it was between Junie and Marcos, and very close yung vote doon.
Okay. Any other thoughts about Dog Days? Okay, let's move on to the last circle competition film, Billy and Emma. So, Yun. So Billy and Emma is about this. So Billy, this girl, moves into the province after something happens back in her home, and then she meets Emma, this very model student type person, and they fall in love with each other. So yes, directed by Samantha Lee, known for Baka Bukas. So I've seen it. Jim has seen it. DJ, have you seen it? Oggs, of course, has seen it. What Princess has not yet seen it. So, what did you think of Billy and Emma?
For me, it's better than Baka Bukas.
Well, agree. I liked it better than Baka Bukas.
Kasi with Baka Bukas, nakukulangan ako sa lalim.
Aha.
Pero dito with Billy and Emma, hindi mo naman siya kailangan nung ganun ka in-depth. Pero sumakto siya because of teenagers sila eh. Diba yung mga teenagers?
Yeah, the two leads are excellent eh. And yeah, I like this also better than Baka Bukas. And it's a very sweet film. It doesn't have to be overly complicated. And it has a lot to say about women's rights, over their own bodies, their own like gender identities. It also, kung pumasok kayo sa isang Catholic school, kahit na hindi all girls, makaka-relate kayo. Yun. And mas lalo na siguro kung all girls school. Kasi ganun eh. Tapos pinapakita niya yung parang inherent, lalo na during one scene na may confrontation, yung inherent contradictions between yung pinapagawa ng isang admin ng isang Catholic school versus yung Catholic beliefs talaga. So, yun. Ganda siya. Ganun. VJ, what did you think of the film?
Yun nga, very tempting palagi na compare siya sa Baka Bukas. Parang so far from Samantha Lee's two films, parang nakikita ko she prioritizes yung parang Instagram-friendly aesthetic. Kita kasi sa production design, sa Billy and Emma, yung room ni Billy and yung living room ni Emma, parang yung, pag tinignan mo sa gilid ng frame, parang kunwari makalat, pero carefully arranged yung parang naka-flat lay.
Naka-flat lay yung kalat.
yung stuff, yung notebooks, ganyan. So parang, nagpo-focus siya sa ganun. So, sa Baka Bukas, yun nga, parang medyo meandering. So, parang, okay, visuals, good, pero what's it about? So, dito sa Bill and Emma, I think kaya siya improvement kasi mas purposeful yung visuals. It's really in the service of a story. Na it helps na it's set in the 90s. So, it also tries to evoke.
Relatable.
Set in the 90s.
Parang late 90s na, no? Pa early 2000. Kasi may CDs na sila eh. And wala naman silang computer na.
Ilang taon ka naman?
Secret! Magkaitan lang siguro tayo. May Sailor Moon doon. Sailor Moon. Pero nandun na si Neptune tsaka so mga Sailor Moon.
Chubby del Rosario.
Chubby del Rosario.
Yun, nag-aral din ako sa Catholic school, grade school. So parang yun yan, nakaka-relate. Pero at the same time, parang may parts na unrealistic naman sa akin. Nung kinampihan nila lahat si Emma, parang hindi naman mangyayari.
Hindi sila
Uy, nakaloka talaga yun.
Matatakot sila sa madre nun eh.
Makikikaw kayo lahat. Kahit gano'n kayo kadami.
Yun yung nakita ko parang problematic part dun sa film. Kasi parang, nangyayari ba ito sa totoong buhay? Buntis ka na, ipagkakalat mo pa sa campus, para kulang na lang pumasok si Antonieta at sabihin niya, nangyayari ba ito sa totoong buhay? Diba? At nag-well ka pa sila.
Jim, kalma.
pero it makes for good cinema.
Yeah.
Despite the unbelievability of everything, parang it makes for good moments.
Yeah.
And that was a good moment.
It's a fun moment.
I have a question.
Yes.
Kasi parang siguro sa circle ko lang, pero a lot of people are kind of finding Samantha Lee's films a little, parang it's not something that you will want agad-agad. In a way na parang kunyari, it's too stylish, it's too aesthetic, it's too this and that.
Stylish, yes.
Personal
I guess
preference.
tama yung sinabi ni DJ na na there's that aesthetic na I think we should welcome it kasi
Oo.
that's ano yan
To a different type.
millennial filmmaker siya. It's similar to Peterson except that I mean in the sense na pwede mo silang sabing auteur kasi when you follow them on Instagram, it looks like their films. Their posts look like their films. So may certain truth naman din sa aesthetic nila. So
Kasi ako, I mean, I actually recoiled yung reaction ko sa Baka Bukas. And naalala ko, nagustuhan ko siya. Nagustuhan ko siya in a sense na parang this is not real life and this is also real life.
So you watched Baka Bukas twice?
Hindi, parang
So the first time na pinanood mo, you didn't...
I liked it na parang sabi ko, I didn't like it and I liked it. Pero bakit hindi ko siya nagustuhan?
conflicted.
Oo. Kasi parang sabi ko, kasi I mean, you know, I'm used to having or to seeing lesbian films na parang they're this and that, they have other problems like, you know, socialist problems. Ganun. Dito, there's nothing. It's just, they fell out of love. You know, someone got hurt. Ang ganun.
Actually, aminado naman ako kahit may nakita kong part na problematic dun sa film. Ito yung pinaka nagustuhan ko, aminado, with the QCinema 2018. Kasi na-appreciate ko na bihira kasi tayong gumawa ng lesbian movie dito sa Philippines na talagang, alam mo yun, yung alam ng tao, ganun. Kasi mostly nang ginagawa dito sa Philippines ay gay movies, 'di ba? Yun ang
konti lang yung lesbian movies na
tapos directed by by a woman na self-confessed nga siya. Lesbian siya, 'di ba?
I think sa group chat, we had a conversation about lesbian films. Tapos ako, ang naalala ko lang, syempre, is si Tibor at ako, which was directed not by a lesbian.
But Danny Jalcita.
Ano naman meron namang, I mean, there's Rome and Juliet by Connie Macatuno. There's Tuli by Oreo Solito. So, there really, may ano talaga, may mga gumagawa naman lesbians. Although, I mean,
It's not
talagang
in terms of volume.
if compared to gay films, talagang konti. And what's particularly nice about Sam's lesbian cinema is that hindi siya conflict-centered.
Yes.
Parang hindi problema yung pagiging
ginagamit
lesbian.
Ginagamit yung tropes ng romantic genre to
pull you in.
And there's this one scene in Billy and Emma that I really liked. And I think ito yung sinabi ko bakit dapat manalo yung sa Best Supporting Actress.
si Shella Aquino.
That one scene wherein she admitted that she's lesbian without saying it. I think that was a really nice moment wherein sobrang okay, I don't have to say it. Parang
walang fanfare.
You don't have to out me, ganyan. Pero it's very laid back, it's very natural, it's very sweet. Na parang okay. So, ayun nga, it's the problem with Baka Bukas isn't, I don't think it's not it isn't Sam Lee because she's a talented director. I think she's very the fact na yung aesthetic is very consistent means may vision talaga siya. I mean, she knows herself as a director, as a filmmaker. And Billy and Emma proved na okay, she can actually tell a story. The problem with Baka Bukas is when it got selected in Cinema 1, yung script niya hindi pa tapos. So again, you have this problem wherein
schedules.
Within a few months you have to come up with a complete script and then film.
Okay.
So ayun, Billy and Emma, I think it's nice. The way you guys described it, it's nice because it's simple. The tropes are very familiar. High school love story, and then the conflicts are very except that yung pinakagusto ko. Sorry I think nag-usap tayo kanina. Pinakagusto ko kasi yung yung decision yung decision sa abortion. It's very it's very ayun yung despite Billy and Emma being very accessible.
Yes. It's still, it's a power.
Present pa rin nga yung doon siya naging matapang.
Yeah,
Actually, matapang ang Billy and Emma.
DJ said something like it's quietly provocative.
Yes.
Yun yung immediate reaction ko sa kanya. Very mild-mannered siya all throughout, very soft pastel colors. Pero pailalim parang actually it's very provocative for me.
Yeah, low-key provocative.
Low-key provocative. Ang dami niyang moments na if you're listening or if you're a cinephile na mabilis mag-pick up ng subtext, may kita mo sobrang provocative niya actually.
Yeah.
For example, yung lines na yung lalaki, sinabi niya, the man should decide, yung mga ganun. Ang daming ganung moments sa film. And yun nga yung climax dun is yung abortion issue.
Yung sinabi ng character na
Mas mahal ko ang sarili ko.
mas mahal ko ang sarili ko.
Kaysa sa future child. So, yun yung...
Hindi siya judgmental.
Yeah.
All the characters are flawed. Even the mom of Emma is flawed. Pero
Si Beauty,
they're not presented as villains. They're not even kahit yung boyfriend di ba? Charming rin yung boyfriend parang doofus, parang
in his own awkward
man
way.
child, di ba? So all of them are flawed, but you can't hate them. You can't hate them for their decisions. Kahit yung di ba it's very rare to have a Filipino film wherein you actually like everybody.
Yeah. So, yeah. And any other thoughts, guys?
Ang question ko lang kasi like in Baka Bukas and Billy and Emma ay parang kasing may part dun sa mga characters, di ba, in Baka Bukas, like in Jasmine Curtis Smith, and ito nga yung character ni Billy, personal ba siya na para bang yung character ay medyo personal kay Samantha Lee, para bang medyo closer ba sa character, sa personality or character niya? May mga ganun akong question.
Probably.
Did she shoot sa QCinema lang or sa?
Well, hindi siya lumabas sa Cinema 1. I think QCinema lang siya pinitch.
Okay. Okay, so that ends the circle competition films. Let's just have, in the interest of time, let's have one member or one person talk about the two documentaries. Jim, can you talk about Pag-ukit sa Paniniwala by Hias Baldemor Bagabaldo, and All Grown Up, DJ, can you talk about? Okay, All Grown Up muna by Wena Sanchez.
All Grown Up, okay. Admittedly, kulang ako sa panonood ng docu. Any kind of docu, kahit local or foreign. Kaya sobrang amazed ako dito. Kahit si Tristan, di ba? Sobrang
Nakakaiyak siya.
nagulat ako kasi yung dalawang documentaries, pinanood ko sila after watching the 5 circle competition. And nagulat na ako na sa docu pa ako may iyak. Well, actually, hindi dapat ako nagulat eh. Well, single, mandatory. Sobrang lakas nung yung effect. I guess I actually don't like the word, pero relatable kasi siya. Parang having someone with special needs din in a family. Kitang-kita mo yung struggle nung parang sobrang nakaka-identify ka with the filmmaker na yung her concerns about where her family is going.
Yeah.
Tapos sobrang unassuming kasi lang talaga nung the way it was shot.
Yeah, it's
sobrang patient.
It's a deeply personal film na parang ako na nako-concern ako na parang okay lang ba na you're revealing so much about your family, parang this is talagang parang ginawa kanyang friend. It's parang kinuwento siya, nilabas niya lahat ng niya sa'yo. And earlier, DJ, we were talking about, there was a scene na the director's daughter was shooting her own film. I think it's one of the best parts of this film. One of two good parts.
So, karamihan ng footage kasi was shot by Wena Sanchez herself.
Yeah.
Pero there are few footage shots na hindi siya yung nag-initiate.
Yes.
Yung anak niya, one particular scene kasi is gumagawa ng toy video.
Yes, yung anak niya.
Gumagawa ng toy play yung anak niya, tapos binibidyoan. Tapos na-interrupt ni Wena intentionally. And then nag-throw ng tantrums yung anak niya. So parang for most of the film kasi, syempre aware yung subjects na, binibidyoan kami, let's be nice. Yun yung one of the few moments na kita mo talaga yung other sides ng characters.
Yeah. And one really good, actually the best scene for me in that docu was near the end when Wena and her daughter were parang studying eh.
Sorry.
And then parang bumigay na.
Tumahimik lang.
Tumahimik
lang matagal
yung bata.
Tapos magtataka ka rin. Parang ano nangyari
Parang
sa
bakit? Tapos nung tinanong ni Wena kung bakit. Parang, ayun, sagot yung bata. Tapos parang, yung all of the concerns that were being built from the start of the film, lumabas eh. Parang torrent of emotion siya eh. Na tipong, have I been a good mother to you? Parang, have I done enough? Or am I doing too much? Ganun eh. And it's a very, very raw, emotional moment na daig niya anything else I've seen in QCinema.
I just realized lang din na dun sa scene na yun. Kasi yung part nung impairment or challenges nung dalawang children featured dun sa docu is yung they have problems empathizing with other people.
Yes.
And yun yung scene na
she
grew up kasi
empathy.
she suddenly had empathy.
Yan.
Diba?
Yan. It's very, very powerful documentary. Probably one of the best local. Yield and probably this one. And also the other one, which we will be talking about shortly. So, Jim, yes, Baldemar Bagabaldos, Pag-ukit sa paniniwala. Can you talk a little bit about this film?
Pag-ukit sa paniniwala, it's about, kung makikita mo naman, kung napanood nyo, yung pag-ukit sa Paete, Laguna, diba?
Yeah, Paete, Laguna.
And pinakita sa film yung traditions during the Holy Week, gano'n.
Yeah.
Hindi naman sa compare ko, pero kasi I was able to watch yung Dukit ni Armando Lau. So, kaya nung pinapanood ko yung pag-ukit sa paniniwala, talagang nare-remind ako nung Dukit nga ni Armando Lau. And nakakatuwa kasi nung nag-comment pa, parang gumawa ko ng Facebook comment, napansin siya ni Iyas More, gano'n. So, yung ko lang doon with two films, syempre different films yun. Yung Pag-ukit kasi, it's a docu, and then Dukit is a full-length feature film. And then, non-linear narrative siya. Ito, docu talaga, gano'n.
Yeah.
Ang nakikita ko kasi with Pag-ukit, kasi galing ako sa isang network, no? So, pag documentary kasi, mostly, parang merong isang case study or CS, and then i-observe yung, kunyari, daily life, anong ginagawa niya, or whatever, tawag dito, business, ganun. Dito kasi, ang napansin ko with Pag-ukit, hindi siya nag-focus lang dun sa case study. Parang in-observe nga lang ng camera eh.
Yes, it's very... It reminded me a lot of a docu, I think it was last year, yung Makiling. Ay, yun? Bundok Banahaw.
Kay Dempster.
Yeah, kay Dempster Samarista, yeah. Na tipong doesn't pass judgment, parang it just observes the action going on. Sige, Jim.
Then, nag-jump siya dun sa pinakita na yung tradition. Then, pinakita na nga yung mga Holy Week tradition. And, ang nag-struck sa akin ay yung sa community theater. Kasi yung gumanap na devil. Magaling. So, pang best supporting
best actor.
Pang best supporting actor. Diba? Kung pwede lang i-nominate. Diba? So, ayun. Yun nga so far.
Yun, Pag-ukit sa paniniwala, it's a very interesting film. You can go to my blog. Basahin niyo yung review ko doon. Pero, basically what I said there is, it talks about the intersections of faith and art eh. Kasi art is yung sculpting these idols eh. And it's a play on the concept of God creating man in his own image. Because there's a scene later in this film na yung basis ng sculpt niya for Jesus is not your usual parang Caucasian or parang Jewish features. Pero may pagka-Pilipino yung itsura ni Jesus. So parang man creating images of God in his own image. Parang ganun. So parang dun pumapasok yung kasi yung Filipino Christianity is not yung the usual yung Christianity na makikita mo sa ibang lugar eh. So parang it's a mix of our own traditional beliefs and yung beliefs na dinala ng Spaniards to us. So, yun, pinapakita niya yun. At the same time, yun nga, sabi ni Jim, there was a scene there that showed yung sinakulo or passion play siguro na ayun even that they're using art to try to understand God or his life or his stories. So it was taken over a period of like 5 years and yung parang the thread that runs through this docu is this tree that gets cut down and then it gets turned into this large statue of Christ, and then the end of the film mirrors the start of the film na merong bagong may bagong punong mawawala, bagong project. So yun it's a circle of life, religion, ganun, and faith, and it's an interesting film, and if you can watch it alongside Bundok Banahaw, which tackles with another yung more of the yung parang offshoots ng faith natin dito sa Pilipinas. It's an interesting companion piece, I think. So yun. Okay guys, so that ends our QCinema coverage. So for our traditional Chuchu Bells, please tell us one film that you watched recently. How was it? So let's start with Jim. Have you seen anything recently? O sige, mamaya ka na. O DJ.
I only saw 3 international films from QCinema. My favorite was Burning.
Okay.
Might sound strange at first, pero the film I'm comparing it the most to is Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, why?
Dahil dun sa... Well,
Starts with a B?
sobrang iba, sci-fi. Pero it's the same mystery, suspense,
Yes.
atmospheric thriller kasi. Parang, in terms of feel ko siya, in terms of the feeling it left me, dun ko siya kino-compare na sobrang similar sila. And pati sa length ng runtime, parang nearly 3 hours.
Love Lee Chang-dong's films.
Slow burning.
Slow burning.
Slow burning movie. Kung yung I like to think kasi in terms of duality, kung yung Blade Runner 2049 is in the end yung story niya makes logical sense, pero it's the setting that's mysterious dahil futuristic sci-fi, you don't know how the technology works. Baliktad siya sa Burning, parang it's our present world. Nandyan
Yes.
yung tension ng 2 Koreas,
Yes.
yung class divisions, ganyan.
Between classes.
Pero yung what actually happens between the 3 characters, sobrang mystery and hindi natin talaga alam completely what
it's
happened.
implied, but you can't be 100% sure.
You can be definitive about what happens.
Yan. Oggs, have you seen anything lately?
Wala.
Sige, kahit na.
No, I saw last film I saw was last night, Class of 2018
Okay.
by Charlie Bebs Guhetya of
Bagyong Beverly fame.
Bagyong Beverly fame. So he shot this film alongside Bagyong Beverly. So it's interesting. It's interesting in the sense that it has a lot of things to say, a lot of things it wants to do. Except that all of the different elements, the different moods, the different attempts at comedy or at horror action never really gel together. So again, lagi ko sinasabi, sayang siya.
Yeah, missed opportunity
Because it has a lot of things to say. It's actually a political film, except that the politics is overshadowed by the silliness or the violence.
Yeah.
Except that even the silliness sometimes it diverts the attention from the other things, and then yung violence hindi siya ganun ka violent for it to be a real showstopper. So in the end, I think the film was defeated by its own desire to be safe.
Yeah.
It's a very safe film. when it shouldn't be safe.
Do you think the decision to get the Going Bulilit cast affected its parang desire to be safe?
Siguro kasi I mean you have these
teeny bopper.
actors and actresses who have their own careers
Yeah.
to in mind. So siguro kailangan rin maging safe kasi nga I mean they don't want to ruin these actors and actresses future. Baka
Baka ano mangyari.
ano siya again nasasayang kasi I want our cinema to have more films like these and then when I was watching it in SM MOA, actually papanoorin ko dapat siya nung Wednesday sa Glorieta, except the next day wala na siya sa Glorieta. So ayun, sayang kasi kahit hindi ko siya gusto, sana man lang pinapanood siya kasi this is something that hindi typically ginagawa.
Yeah, to be fair, I saw this at Mega Mall and medyo okay naman yung audience number. Like mga 20-30 people.
I saw it in MOA around 7 o'clock and then mga 15 lang kami. That's MOA.
MOA. Yan. Princess?
Yeah, mine was Suspiria.
Okay. Oh.
Aha.
Mahaba yan.
So our next episode
And then Suspiria. Well, my favorite Argento would be si Deep Red.
Deep Red.
So, but my first Argento was Suspiria. So the first few parts I said, okay, this is Suspiria. But then I got, wow, okay, this is a different film. And you can actually say na if you want to remake a film, you have to like give it 200%. And Luke did give his 250%. Everyone in the cast did all their best. Even Olga, Olga, if you've seen the film.
She was an actual contortionist, right?
Really? So that's interesting. So ayun.
Yeah. Spoiler, pero yun.
You have to watch or catch Olga's
It's a great
performance.
film. Ang dami mong pwedeng hugutin from it. And Luca gets parang yun nga, like you said earlier before the podcast started, parang hiniram ni Luca yung
Dario, pairam muna ako ng Suspiria, tapos pagagandahin ko lang.
Yeah, he did his own thing eh.
Yeah.
That's very distinct. Kasi parang Argento Suspiria is very visually esoteric na parang tipong you have to find meaning in the images eh. Parang plot-wise hindi masyadong clear what's exactly going on.
Yeah.
While in Suspiria, iba yung atake niya sa material.
Tsaka kasi si Dario, he built the momentum eh. Parang he took experience from his B-movies, slasher films, and then he said, okay, I'm gonna be serious. I have 3 mothers here. And then si Luca, okay, hi dad, let me borrow the 3 mothers.
Yeah, ako when I first saw Dario Argento Suspiria, parang sa start pa lang alam mong ibang mundo na eh.
Yeah.
All the colors are different, the colors are so bright. And then may music na so siya, it's talagang tinatanggal ka sa mundong ito.
Yes.
Which is very different from Guadagnino's take. Kasi nga, it doesn't want you to get out of this world. This Suspiria is part of this world.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be part of our history, our humanity.
And he decided to frame it in Cold War Berlin.
Yeah. So parang it's part of history.
Yeah, and that's the scary part. Kasi sa isa, fantasy yun eh. Ito, it exists among us.
At saka, it's interesting in a sense na lahat ng elements from the score, from the look, from the acting, hindi siya spoon feeding na horror to. I mean, the songs there could belong in Call Me By Your Name.
Yeah.
Diba? Except that they're in Suspiria. So pero apt, diba? It's it's haunting eh. Parang
By the way, guys, I love the camera work.
Yeah.
Especially in the first half, the jittery, parang paranoid.
Oh, yeah.
No, praning yung camera nung first may ganun yung techniques din. May mga techniques na ganun nung 70s. So parang may callback, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parang Fassbinder.
Fassbinder ganun. Fassbinder yan na camera.
Gusto ko tuloy mapanood niya.
Panoorin mo na ngayon.
Yeah.
Hanapin mo kung
While it's
palabas.
still here, Jim.
Yeah, by Wednesday siguro wala na.
Jim, what have you watched recently?
Yung ano na lang, yung huli ko napanood sa QCinema, yung Rainbow QC, The Wound.
The Wound, okay.
South African film.
This was the Oscar entry last year, no? Ng South Africa.
I'm not sure kasi hindi ko pa na-research.
Yun, so anyway, sige.
Interesting siya kasi yung take niya kasi it's about manhood eh. Kasi mayroong tradition sa South Africa. I forgot lang yung term. And then pinakita yun doon sa film. Tapos yung may caregiver kasi sila while nagpapa-heal ng wound, 'di ba, after magpatuli. And yung struggle niya nga is yun nga, yung homosexuality niya. Ganun. So, yun. Kaya naging interesting siya. Doon ko siya natutukan kasi para bang siya kumbaga in South Africa kasi parang aminado hindi rin ako familiar with the culture or tradition. So, nung napanood ko siya, na-expose ako about the culture and tradition nila regarding doon nga sa man.
So, this is your first like South African film?
Aminado.
Okay, interesting. So, for me, I saw probably what's the best film of the universe in the century. Michael Diaz, Ang Alamat ng Taong Itim. Starring Troy Montes, the husband of Mystica. So,
Seryoso pa rin siya.
yeah.
He wants to know.
Yeah.
The feeling may I think there's room for films like these.
Yeah. Parang this is, if you count this as a Mystica production, this is actually her third. So first was Querido, the 7-hour film directed by Mystica, which if you look at it as something like an experimental film, is actually really fascinating. And the second one is her unfinished film titled Truth. And that's really crazy. They're like pianos falling out of the sky. There's a scene from a TV show that she like kinuha niya from nowhere. And so for this third film, although Mystica is not the director, yung parang authorish na touches niya, parang mararamdaman mo pa rin sa film. Yung hugot niya is from Ang Probinsyano, mga patahin na films. And it's a superhero film And it's a superhero film, but it's not for children. So it's on YouTube.
Sa YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube for free, 25 minutes long.
Okay. Wow, short.
And it's there's a predator in this film. Yeah, spoiler na lang, I guess. May predator sa film and parang wow, parang to. This is like that scene in I can't really compare it to any other thing. Pero it's a great addition to her body of work. Na I hope you get the chance to see it because it's fantastic. And I'm a fan of Mystica's body of work. Body of work. She's in this film. She uses a whip. She whips people around. And everyone, it's free. It's pure independent cinema. Ganun.
No problems in distribution.
No budget, no distribution problems, no deadlines. So in a way, it's freer than a lot of the independent cinema we have right now.
Pero ano sa tingin mo yung motivation behind this? Meron ba siyang curious ako kasi 'di ba parang disaster artist, we have that kind of we have my fascination with filmmakers who go against the grain, 'di ba, parang just because they can make movies will make movies.
Regarding that, I think yung appeal niya parang there's a sort of earnestness in the way she's doing her film. Na tipong especially in Querido, if you've watched that film, pag nag-bear through ka all of the 7 hours of that film, may mga parts na it starts getting meta, na tipong she is part of the film is the behind the scenes of the film she's trying to make. So parang ganoon eh. Parang iba yung angle na
So you're saying na may intelligence behind the filmmaking.
I'm not sure if it's it's intentional or not. Baka chumachamba lang si Mystica for all we know. Pero in the sense na even if it's an accidentally created work of art, it's still
Hindi to labor. Curious ako eh. Hindi to labor of love.
I think
to support the husband.
I think it's if anything, my parang theory is she's doing it for attention, to get attention for her husband, kasi siguro para makakuha ng roles. Di ba parang lumabas recently sa Ang Probinsyano si Mystica, so maybe something like that, parang look, my husband can act maybe, and he can do action stuff, baka pwede mo siyang isama sa Ang Probinsyano. So yun. So I guess that's the end of our episode. Oggs, thank you very much.
No problem. I enjoyed this.
Yeah. I hope you come back.
You guys should do this a lot more.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll invite you.
We'd like to thank our sponsors today.
Yeah.
UCC.
Thank you, UCC.
Sorry, tatlo lang yung dinala ko na
Yeah, so
pasulubong from Japan.
yay, thank you.
Thank you.
On behalf of all of us, we'll see you guys next time. Probably with more. Says, do we have interesting guests in the horizon?
I have.
Yeah, we'll not tell you guys who they are, but
Yes.
watch out for that.
So our current sponsors are San Miguel Beer, Shakey's Pizza, UCC right now, and what else? We now have upcoming sponsors. So please. ABS-CBN Films still do not forget us.
Please join our podcast.
Yes.
So yan guys. See you at the movies and bye.
Bye-bye.